everyone, and welcome to Rob's Rogues. And today we're taking a look at the DC Comics chess collection by Eaglemoss. This is piece number 38. It is the Lex Luthor, the Black King. Although now shouldn't he be on the Justice League side since he's part of the Justice League? We know that Lex is going to be a bad guy, but we'll save that for later. I was really kind of tossing and turning, maybe not really tossing and turning, but trying to decide what Black King or Evil King I wanted on the villain side of my chessboard. I've got Batman as the White King, the Dark Knight, but I was trying to figure out, do I want the Joker? He looks really cool. Or did I want Lex? Or, there's, I think, Ultraman is a king now for the third wave of the DC chess collection. And I was kind of leaving it up to, I'll wait and see what I find. I was really kind of leaning towards having the Joker be a knight, because he's in the New 52 paint scheme, and I almost bought him when you see one of my other chess pieces. He had a broken leg, and I was trying to talk myself into, I think I could fix it, and it just didn't look like it was going to go into position. And recently I went to a Cincinnati Comic Expo, and a place was selling these for $5 a piece, and in it was Lex Luthor, and another one that you'll see in a little bit. I don't want to spoil that guy. And I thought, I think I've just made my decision on the king that I'm going to pick up from the villain side. And I kind of liked the, little quarrels that Bruce and Lex would have, amongst themselves, both being billionaires or trillionaires or whatever it is. Bruce obviously coming from the right and the good things to do with your money, as opposed to Lex just wanting to be able to crush all of the heroes. So I thought, it'd be kind of cool to pair Batman and Lex Luthor together as opposed to Superman and Lex. So yada yada, all that. What we'll do, we'll get the Lex figurine out of package. We'll look through the book, and then we'll go downstairs and we'll place the Black King onto the board. So it'll be really kind of cool to finally have the two kings on the board at the same time. So we'll be right back. All right, Lex is out of package, and I was kind of surprised. He's a little bit heavier than I expected him to be. This is a really nice piece, and I think he's painted very, very well. Looks a little cross-eyed. Maybe not cross-eyed, as something is definitely taking his attention over here. Like, Lex, look this way. Now, he still wants to look that way. He's painted really well. I'm not really seeing any overspray or... let's get a little bit closer here so we can really point out his flaws. I love the base. I love the skull on the front of it. There's the king. This is Lex Luthor, BES 4937. I don't know why I continue to read that all the time. So it's not really too hard to mess up on a figurine when all that it is just a few colors. There's the, vote for Lex. So you can see there in the background he's got his pin that's supposed to have his face on it. So that's what that is supposed to represent. It's like, okay, we'll give you an E for effort there, but still, there is a kryptonite ring and a sliver of kryptonite. Not much it's going to do for Lex battling Batman, but on my board, I kind of thought it was going to be kind of cool. I was kind of leaning towards Lex anyway, because I really think I wanted to have the Joker be a knight, but I also thought about picking up the Joker as well, and maybe even a Superman at some point, so I could really kind of mix up depending on maybe who I'm playing with or just what I want to have shown there on my board. But for right now, Lex Luthor is probably going to remain my king. I think this is a really nice piece, and I'm really trying to spin him around. I'm not seeing a whole lot that is wrong with him. And I really like the face, and he's got a decent look to his face. He's got that, little smirk, like you just don't really want to trust him. His ears look really good. And I'm sure he's been put together like he's two halves, and the seam is hidden really well. I don't even really see where the seam is. On some of them you can really tell. But Lex is a really, really nice piece. They even have the crystal painted really pretty good. It's got a little bit of like a a metallic wash to it. And you can see a little bit in the hands here. But, you know, from far away and on the chessboard, you're really not going to notice it too much. But a really, really good piece. And my favorite thing about these that I mention a lot are the books. I just love these books. Being able to kind of read about the character. Here's the other figurines in the set. I saw Martian Manhunter, and I saw, I must have Captain Boomerang, Deadshot at the comic convention. I only had enough money for a couple of them. There's the Joker, the New 52 Joker. I have the Dark Side on my board as a rook. Now Lex is the king. I'm not sure who's going to be the queen yet on my villain side of the board. So I think I knew who it's going to be, so I'll just kind of keep that as a wait and see type thing. Some new 52 stuff for Lex Luthor. So now that we're into this part of the Justice League, they start drawing from the new 52 quite heavily in Lex's book. There you can see Superman in his jeans and t-shirt and cape, which I thought's really kind of a funny design. I'm still not really sold on that Superman, but you know, it works for the story that Grant Morrison was telling. And then just some more new 52 Superman and Lex Luthor. This is really kind of Superman heavy, which I was kind of surprised. I mean, there are prominent, here's the Birthright storyline by Mark Waid. So granted, I mean, Superman and Lex Luthor are adversaries, so there's going to be a ton of Superman stuff in here. But I was just surprised with how much Superman content there was, being that this is Lex Luthor's chess piece. So let's get into the chess piece himself, and this is a really like money bags version of Lex Luthor. Like he's been eating a lot of chocolate bars lately. But anyway, here is Lex Luthor is a twisted genius who considers himself the most important human being ever to have lived. Of course you do, Lex. With such a monumental ego and perchance for criminal enterprise, it's only fitting that Lex Luthor is the Black King in the Justice League set. So he's going to look excellent on my board. And then there's a classic Superman story that is escaping me right now. Why can I not remember that? I just watched the animated movie of that. It's escaping me. I know somebody's going to point it out and say, gee, Rob, I can't believe you don't remember that. Why can I not remember it? Remember, Rob, what is that? I think it's a new 52, but it reminds me of All-Star Superman. That's exactly what I was thinking of. So there, I knew I'd pick it up sooner or later. So it's a cool animated movie. I never read the book, but I probably should at some point. So there, the next figurine for the DC chess set, which I saw him at the convention, is Deadshot. I think this might be one I would like to pick up. I have a list of the pieces I'd like to get, so if my wife wants to pick up some for Christmas, she has a list of like, oh, hey, Rob said he has wanted this, rather than randomly picking things up for without kind of really knowing what I'd want. She kind of likes those things. So anyway, I'm really, really rambling there. So what we're going to do, let's take Lex downstairs so we can finally get a king on the villain side of the board. We'll be right back. All right, we're back downstairs, and finally I get to place the Black King, the villainous king of Lex Luthor, on the board. So this will be really kind of cool to be able to finally have the king here. And let's see, he'll go right there. So he looks really, really cool on the board, having Lex there, along with, you know, Darkseid and Ra's al Ghul. I'm thinking once I get Deathstroke down here, I'm going to have to maybe rearrange a little bit on the board. I might want to keep him in front of Ra's al Ghul. I'm not entirely sure, but we'll see once I get him down here as well. So today we'll be taking a look at Lex Luthor from the DC Eaglemoss chess set. And if I have my book just out of reach here, he is piece number 38. And as always, this is Rob for Rob's Rogues, signing off saying we'll see you guys next time.